Behold the Triumph of Kannas 1944. A classic example of crushing Russian conquest attempts. From the evasive chronicles of Doctor of Philosophy to P.O. Tihonen's book on the great battles of Karelian Isthmus, War Chamberlain Reino Levaslejo, who fought against the spearhead of the attack, declared, "The finest war tome I have ever read." The son of a Mannerheim Cross Knight and acclaimed journalist Mannerpagen inscribed on the central spread of Iltalehti on August 27, 1999. Tihonen's dissertation stands as one of the most extensive dissertations of the University of Helsinki, and the most comprehensive individual study of the great battles of Kannas. Sidsvenskan echoed on the same day. According to Tihonen, the Allies aided the Soviet Union in reaching Berlin. The units transferred from Kannaksson to Narva had lost both their readiness and their fighting spirit. The classic example of routing Russian forces is profoundly relevant today, as Soviet methods repeat in Ukraine with their armored sausages, mass waves of aggressive hedgehog defense tactics, and operations towards capitals and economic centers precisely as they did against Finland in the summer of 1944. Yet, P.O. Tihonen not only revisits his life's work, but now, with Russia's aggression against Ukraine, consolidates the global theaters of the Soviets: 2 theaters of war and 16 military operations theaters. European Military Operations Theatre with northwestern and central directions against northern and southern directions. Finland's direction, linking them to the Viipuri, Kotka, and Helsinki operations of Kannas. He completes the puzzle revealing Stalin's fourth strategic strike plans, including the conquest of Helsinki, the occupation of Finland, and absolute surrender as part of the campaigns of dozens of operations in the European Military Operations Theatre, where Romania and Finland acted as the pincers, with Germany at the center, with its formidable nuts to crack in Berlin. He enlightens us on imperialism, stretching back to the time of Peter the Great, when the Finnish Nevanlinna city was razed and replaced by the old Russian city, known as St. Petersburg. He presents the conquest plans with evidence from the war archives, war diaries, arrival documents, private collections, Ministry of Foreign Affairs archives, and National Archives materials. In addition to the headquarters, Kannaksson Forces Headquarters, 3 and 4 Army Corps, divisions, focal regiments, and Air Forces materials, he presents evidence from the Leningrad Front's 21st Army, 23rd Army, 59th Army, 13th Air Army materials, with casualty lists, war diaries, and orders. His focus zeroes in on the movement of the main force of 250,000 Soviet soldiers, culminating in the greatest battle in northern history. He leaves no stone unturned in the focal point, starting his trilogy from the Soviet decision in 1943 to conquer Finland, revealing the spring 1944 peace offensive from under peace negotiations, where the main roles were played by unconditional surrender and preparations for moving troops to Kannas. He details the arrival of the main attacking forces step by step, moment by moment, with radio silences, preparations for the world's largest artillery barrage, and Finnish superior training, artillery techniques. What unfolds is a unique, unparalleled spectacle where the world's fiercest artillery concentration initiates a strategic breakthrough attack. War diaries and frontline accounts speak of up to 400 guns per kilometer of front, hundreds of bombers, destroyed trenches, reminiscent of World War I's Verdun. But from the first day of battle, June 9, 1944, they highlight Finnish counterattacks, air forces, artillery barrages. They bring forth buried information in Finnish and attackers' original sources. Personalities emerge. Yes, Stalin, Leningrad Front Commander Govrov, 21st Army Commander Gusev, Marshal Mannerheim, General Iroh, Colonel Nittila, but they also highlight the frontline fighters, officers, and soldiers from both sides. The discreet Lieutenant Colonel J.Z. Dunker, Nittila's trusted officer, Finnish radio intelligence, radio communications, artillery fire control messages, tank destroyers, counterattack spearheads, destruction of Russian mobile groups, Stukas, a vast amount of overlooked information from frontline radio interviews with soldiers. And suddenly they begin to reveal the losses of the attackers, the surrender of troops, the loss of morale in battle. Finnish world's most effective artillery fire, German Squadron Kuulmies dive bomber attacks, Finnish pilots with their fighters and bombers. From the front comes news to Soviet headquarters of the unexpected, peculiar, clearly unorthodox tactics of the Finns. Directives start appearing saying, the Finns have changed their tactics, they have submachine guns, hand grenades, they are attacking. We must change our tactics or losses come enormous. Welcome to a unique battle experience, based solely on combat sources, Soviet and Finnish. Welcome to a unique experience that is an unparalleled classic tale of how attacking forces were defeated on the Karelian Isthmus in the summer of 1944, and how by following those still relevant methods, Russians can be defeated in Ukraine in the summer of 2024. Tihonen concludes, I dedicate this series of books to my father, his brother, and all the victors of Kannas and their memory.